the best of my knowledge, no speeches today were created by ChatGPT. And as a small bit of housekeeping before we begin, we do have bathrooms available in the middle school rotunda. There's a water available as well. If you need to cool down a bit, we've got fans around, so you may go stand in front of there. And the event is being live streamed to our virtual guests. So without any further ado, I'm very pleased to introduce our first speaker today, which is our very own illustrious and dedicated head of school, Miss Susan Kenobi.
Good morning, everyone. To the Board of Trustees, Mr. Alex Gaynor and Ms. Sonia Winter, AISK administration and faculty, ladies and gentlemen, parents of the graduates, and obviously the class of 2023. Good afternoon and welcome to the AISK graduation ceremony of 2023. And this is a message to the graduates. Today, as we come together on this campus, I'm filled with both excitement and anticipation, knowing that this is a group of students that are about to embark upon the world. And they're going to have influence on the world that you would not believe. You have reached a milestone in your lives and you're now ready to embark on a new journey as graduates of AISK. And this momentous occasion not only celebrates your accomplishments, but also recognizes the immense potential you hold as future learners and change agents. A change agent is someone who embraces the idea that the world is not a fixed entity, but rather a canvas waiting to be painted upon. It is someone who possesses the courage to change and challenge the status quo, the vision to see what others may not, and the determination to turn dreams into reality. Each one of us has the power to be a change agent and to shape our own destinies and to make a lasting impact on the world. And as you venture into this rapidly evolving landscape, it's essential that you understand the concept of a career for life has become a relic of the past. The traditional notion of working in a single field for an entire lifetime is no longer accurate. Instead, embrace a broad range of skills, adapt to changing circumstances, and seize opportunities as they arise. Success will depend on your ability to learn continuously, to be agile with your thinking, and to keep gaining qualifications as you go throughout your lives. Looking ahead, the needs of the future will be vast and multifaceted and unknown. The world must value social, economic, and personal justice. Your generation will be defined by unwavering commitment to equality and fairness, striving to create a world where every individual is treated with dignity and respect, to be environmentally conscious and recognize that it is your responsibility to protect and preserve our planet. The challenges of climate change and environmental degradation require urgent action. We have the power to innovate, to implement sustainable practices, and to ensure a brighter future for generations to come. In addition, we must value diversity and individuality. Our society is a tapestry woven with threads of different cultures, beliefs, perspectives, and it's through embracing our differences that we can foster creativity, collaboration, and more importantly, understanding. The world must reject extremism in all its forms and celebrate the richness that diversity brings. As future learners and change agents, you cannot be passive observers. You must be demanding of governments, holding them accountable for the decisions they make. You must seek transparency, integrity, and forward-thinking leaders. You must remember that change begins with you and that your voices have the power to shape policies, create movements, and drive progress. Finally, in this exponentially growing world where technology permeates every aspect of our lives, please take some time to remember to seek meaning in your experiences. Life is not just a collection of accomplishments and possessions. It's about finding purpose and fulfillment, to strive to create a balance between your personal and professional lives, cherishing the moments that bring joy and cultivating relationships that nourish your souls. Remember that the class of 2023 is not just graduates, but they are future learners and change agents destined to shape the world around us. So graduates, step into the future with open minds, open hearts, and an unwavering belief in your own potential, because we believe in you. Create a world that values justice, cherishes our planet, celebrates diversity, rejects extremism, and seeks meaning in every experience. Congratulations, class of 2023. The future is yours, and it is yours to shape. And I have no doubt that you will rise to the occasion.
Thank you, Ms. Kenobi, for your thoughtful and poignant words. And I think now more than ever we need to act regarding climate change as we enjoy the current heat wave. Our guest speaker today spent 7 empowering years at AISK, during which time she was the Vice President and then President of the AISK Middle and High School Student Governments. She was a Student Ambassador, the Graduating Class Valedictorian, a member of the Honour Society and Key Club, plus a 2-time recipient of the AISK's Leadership and Integrity Awards. She graduated with honours in Accounting and Leadership from the University of Western Ontario in 2020, and she survived the long winters in Canada by joining the Caribbean Students Organization, the CSO, where she was elected first as the secretary, then as the vice president of social, and in her final year became the president of the organization. In addition to their renowned culture shows and Caribbean parties, Rain is most proud of the CSO's relief efforts for the people of the Bahamas affected by Hurricane Dorian. Rain also sat on the University President's Diversity Committee and received the Patricia Doig Leadership Award in her final year. Rain is happy to be back home with her family in Jamaica. She currently heads business development for engineering works and chemical manufacturing for the Matrix Group of companies in St. Catherine. Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome one of our own, Hurricane Miss Rain Williams from the class of 2016.
Oh, that was all great. Thank you, Mr. Walker, for your kind introduction. Hello, AISK. I am very happy to be here to congratulate the class of 2023. This is an important milestone in your life, and I thank you, Ms. Kenobi and Mr. Walker, for inviting me to share this incredible, proud moment with you and your families. Whether you graduate with a high school diploma, an IB diploma, or certificate, I know you worked hard to get to this point. School was challenging, parents were tough, teachers and friends were sometimes fickle or left when you were just getting to know them. I remember it well. But as tough as it was being at an international school, I also know that some of your best memories will come from whatever time you spent at AISK. And wherever in the world you end up, whether you take a gap year or go straight to work or go on to higher education, I know that AISK's core values of excellence, respect, empowerment, and integrity will serve you well in your future. And you are going to be just fine. I want to talk about integrity. I spent 7 years at AISK, from grade 6 to grade 12. As Mr. Walker said, I was student council president, I was student ambassador, I was valedictorian, I was in the honor society, I was in Key Club, I played on tennis team. I did all of those class hours, and I was an IB student. And if that wasn't enough, I still had to get here at 7:50 every morning. That was the rule. Actually, before 7:50. That was hard. But that was the rule, and I learned not to be late. Mrs. Campbell was very clear. If you were on time, you were late. But if you got to school before 7:50, you were on time. That was one of the most important lessons learned at AISK. Get up, get going, be early. Do what you have to do so you can do what you want to do. Being on time is an act of integrity. It shows that you are dependable and it builds your discipline. And it was a very useful lesson, because by the time we became the graduating class, it was no problem for all of us to get here at 5 o'clock in the morning, just before Mr. Thompson got here, and early enough to pull off our graduating class prank. We had all our driver's license, and we drove to school early that morning and parked 15 cars, some on top of this very same platform, and all around the school. 15 cars. I wish I had a picture of it, and Mrs. Melhado's face when she saw it, but it was okay. We knew that Mrs. Melhado had built a strong school and that this platform could manage the weight of our vehicles. Get up, get going, be early. Do what you have to do so you can do what you want to do. AISK now has a beautiful 25-meter swimming pool. There wasn't one in my day, so I played tennis. I'm certain that most of you had to play a sport at school, and you may have had a coach like I did. Some sports coaches know exactly what excellence is. The lesson I took from my coach was that excellence is not about winning every time. Yes, we want to win, we want to come first, take home the trophy and medals, but the playing field, the swimming pool, the tennis court, the classroom, the lecture hall, the workplace, those playing fields of life, to use a Jamaican term, them no level. Sometimes the world is unfair, and so who you are competing against on those playing fields doesn't really matter. Their life is different from yours. They may have more connections, more time, more resources, more talent, more coaching. So you can't watch that. All you can do is your very own best. Whatever that personal best is, do that. And then do better than that. Swim 1 second faster than your last time. Shoot 1 more basket than your last game. Read or write 1 more page of that report before you call it quits for the night. Work harder and play harder than you did yesterday. Compete against your best self. That is excellence. But I'll tell you, you cannot do that alone. I had a problem in my final year here with a subject, higher level economics. I didn't understand the material or the teacher. She thought I was rude, and we ended up not liking each other. It got so bad. We both thought it was a good idea to drop out of IB. It happens at school, at home, at work, and in life. Sometimes you feel like giving up. Well, you know that my other teachers weren't going to let me do that. Instead, they took turns at making me put in 15 extra minutes every day into economics. Just 15 minutes, and I hated every single one of those minutes. But in the end, I managed to get the grade I needed, and I learned the next lesson: to trust people who believe in you and surround yourself with people who only want you to be the best version of yourself. The best version of yourself is where excellence is. It's not how you measure up to the next person. I want to talk about empowerment. While I was at my first year of university, I was really homesick. But at the same time, I was young and free, and I could test my limits, and I did. I ended up having to pay a 200 Canadian dollars for a cleaning fee to Uber because, well, you know, some of you might find out the hard way like I did. I knew I wanted to have fun while I was at university, but it had to be in a responsible way. So in my second year, I joined the Caribbean Students Organization, the CSO, which in addition to their volunteer and outreach programs, were famous for their events. People would come from miles around for our parties. But the CSO didn't want people who just wanted to party. They needed people who could organize, who weren't afraid of hard work, who could talk to people, and not just cocktail party talk like Mrs. Henriquez always says. You had to know exactly what you were talking about. At that point, my GPA didn't matter, my IB scores didn't matter, my friends and family didn't matter, but every class, every group project I worked on, every essay I wrote for Mrs. Brownie, and book report for Mrs. Boxill, and every presentation I made for Mrs. Henriquez helped me to do the work to become elected to the CSO. I was secretary, and then I was vice president, and in my final year, I became president. The point is that you will find that getting to this point has prepared you to adapt to change and to challenges that lie ahead. In speaking to Arnav, he described you, the graduating class of 2023, as resilient, outspoken, and versatile. And he's right. You are now empowered with one of the most important tools you'll need to clear your path forward. It's not the diploma itself that counts, it's about what you've learned to do in the journey to your graduation today. Your future is in your hands, no one else's, and you have been prepared to take advantage of the opportunities that lie ahead of you. You have been empowered to take charge of your life, and I encourage you to seize every opportunity. I am now in the working world. As Mr. Walker said, I lead business development and strategy for the Matrix Group of companies. This year, we celebrate 50 years of doing business in engineering and manufacturing, and I'm very proud of that. It's my father's company, and it paid for my education here at AISK. As a side note to the graduating class sitting behind me, please know that your first job out of school is not going to pay you anything like what you imagined. Work hard anyways. My father's company is definitely getting a good return on their investment. And part of it comes from the connections I made at this school and at university. I can call on Renee in Trinidad, or Chizoma in South Africa, or Christine in Canada about business, and they can call on me too. No matter where in the world you end up, try to keep in touch with your graduating class. The world has become a global village, and AISK is a tiny version of that. It is a place made up of students from different places with different experiences, and you have made room for each other. You respect your differences. You have embraced diversity, and you have built an international community for your futures. Your high school president, Savannah, said the same exact thing when I spoke to her. Out of a class of 31 students, half are international and half are local. She said, you can throw any of us together and we become a community. She spoke of the graduating class as being caring, unique, and well-rounded, and that you embrace ethical ways of being. Clearly, you are a great group of young people, but no matter how educated, talented, or cool you think you are, how you treat people ultimately tells all. Respect is everything. And your success in that world is tied to the strength of your community. Congratulations again to the class of 2023. Show up, be on time, be your best self, and beat that. Surround yourself with people who believe in you and support the people who show up for you. If you do that, well, once again, in the words of Barack Obama, you are going to be just fine. Congratulations again on your incredible achievement. Continue to live the AISK core values of excellence, respect, empowerment, and integrity, and good luck to you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Rain, for your wise words, for reminding us of our core values, but I think perhaps more of their significance and how they apply to us in our everyday lives. Thank you. I now have the pleasure of introducing our first musical interlude. We normally have one, but as we've said, this class is unique, so this year we're going to have two. And as I'm sure their parents know, sometimes you just have to go with the flow. So, performing God Only Knows by the Beach Boys, we have members of the high school band, directed by Mr. David DeHoos.
Mic check, 1, 2. Mic, 1, 2. I may not always love you, but long as there are stars above you, you never need to doubt it. I'll make you so sure about it. God only knows what I'd be without you.
If you should ever leave me, though life would still go on, believe me, the world would show nothing to me. So what good would living do me? God only knows what I'd be without you. God only knows what I'd be without you. If you should ever leave me, though life would still go on, believe me, the world could show nothing to me. So what good would living do me? God only knows what I'd be without you. God only knows what I'd be without you. God only knows what I'd be without you. God, I'd be without. God only knows what I'd be. God only knows what I'd be without. God only knows what I'd be. God only knows what I'd be without. God only knows what I'd be. God only knows what I'd be without. God only knows what I'd be. God only knows what I'd be without you.
Sorry, in my delight at introducing the band, I actually forgot to give a little thank you to our guest speaker, Miss Williams. Sorry. Thank you to High School Band, and if you've been during the current Arts Week and recent results from the JCDC competitions, you'll realize we have a great deal of talent amongst our seniors when it comes to the music, arts, drama, and dance. Our next speaker is one of our grade 12 advisors and was chosen by our seniors to speak on behalf of the AISK faculty, something he was delighted to eventually find out about. And so we please welcome the man who helps us make sense of numbers, Mr. Bennett.
Head of School, Miss Susan Kenobi. Deputy Head of School, Miss Anna Wallace. Middle and High School Principal, Mr. Christopher Walker. Members of the board, teachers, graduates, friends and family, good morning. Before I begin, I have a confession to make. As the time for graduation drew near, I was secretly hoping that the students would choose me to deliver the faculty speech. Why? Well, firstly, it's an honor to be given the opportunity to address such an exceptional bunch of students. They have worked extremely hard and are more than deserving to be seated here as graduates. Secondly, I was excited by the prospect of getting one last chance to encourage them, remind them of their greatness, and share a lesson or two as they venture out into the real world. As I thought about what to share this morning, I asked myself, what does an 18-year-old need to hear? What does someone who is just starting out in this wonderful world of responsibility need to know. The great thing about just starting out is that you have the opportunity to get it right and avoid the pitfalls of those who went before. Now, I know that living a perfect life is impossible, but I believe that there are a few timeless truths that, if followed, can lead to what philosophers call the good life. That is what I want for graduates here today. I want them to live a life that they will not only enjoy, but that will cause them to have a profound impact on the world. It was Ralph Waldo Emerson who said, "The purpose of life is to be useful, to be honorable, to be compassionate, to have it make some difference that you have lived and lived well." So graduates, this morning I want to share a few nuggets that I believe will be helpful as you navigate this thing called life. I only ask that you give me a listening ear, for as critical thinkers, I'm not expecting you to blindly accept what I have to say, but as you would do in Mrs. Brownie's TOK class, assess and analyze the content to see if there is any truth in what I'm putting forward. As you digest what I have to say, keep in mind that many years ago, I too graduated from high school and embarked on the journey that you're about to take. The message that I'm about to share is just my attempt in trying to spare you of some of the heartache that I and some of your teachers have experienced along our own sojourn. So here goes. As high school graduates, you have completed at least 14 years of formal education. In this period, you've been exposed to what others before you have toiled long and hard to discover. We can think of stalwarts like Isaac Newton, who discovered the laws of motion and penciled the tenets of calculus as we know it. Or William Shakespeare, whose literary genius continues to woo the world centuries after his death. But guess what? The ball is now in your court. It is your turn to shake the world. However, as cliche as it may sound, in order to have the audacity to bring your own ideas to the world, you have to believe in yourself. Self-belief is the foundation of all acts of greatness. And here is the thing. There is only one way to develop self-belief. That is, to consistently live true to the values you hold. One writer put it this way: you have to build a good reputation with yourself. If you value time, be punctual. If you value success, be disciplined. If you value relationship, be kind. And with that said, don't forget to be kind to yourself when you fall short of the mark. You're only human and will certainly falter along the way. But learn to forgive yourself and have the self-belief that you will do better next time. Now, whereas self-belief is the foundation of the good life, nothing worthwhile can be achieved without action. People in the world of self-development would want us to believe that in order to be successful, you just have to engage the power of positive thinking. That if we believe long enough, the things we want in life will just manifest themselves. I know many of you have dreams. I can think of Brandon Benjamin, who wants to own his own business. Savannah James, who is set to be a world-leading educator. I'm also aware of future psychologists and design engineers present here today. However, if you don't take consistent action towards your goal, you will be a mere dreamer left only to ponder what could have been. But guess what? I know you. You all have shown the AISK community that you are indeed individuals of action. I implore you to keep it up. It is obvious that you all are positioned for greatness, but I would be remiss to not warn you of why only few achieve it. Only those who embrace the mundane, make friends with boredom, and not grow tired of routine will ever taste true success. Any overachiever will tell you that excellence requires repetition, sticking to the grind even when you don't feel like it. As you begin your careers, you'll obviously find everything exciting and new. However, when the novelty wears off, it is only those who still have the impetus to make enough repetitions and put in the hours, so to speak, that will truly master their field of endeavor. And here is the thing. Mastery is the level at which all the fun begins. It is here that you can truly play and bring your unique ideas to the world and influence generations to come. I've said a lot, but I want to leave you with this. There is only one you, one Krish Shatani, one Amy Chen, one Liam Robertson, one Caitlin Carr. And though I may not have mentioned your name, know that you are cherished and bring to this world what only you can. You have your own superpower. It may be your smile. It may be your humor. Yes, Daniel. It may be your innate ability to be organized. Whatever it may be, discover it, leverage it, and accomplish what you were put on the earth to do. You all have been amazing students, and I speak on behalf of all our teachers. Keep on keeping on. You have greatness to achieve. Just do it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett. Wonderful speech, as always, with many poignant things for us to think about and digest. During our ceremony, it is tradition for us to present awards for the Semester 2 Honor Roll, the United States of America Presidential Awards, and our own AISK Senior Core of Value Awards. The Core Value Awards being for respect, leadership, integrity, and empowerment, excellence, and we also include a special Renaissance Award. The first set of awards we'll give today will be for Honor Roll, and Honor Roll is, we have two sets. We have Honor Roll for students who earn all A and B grades in their courses with a minimum 3.5 GPA and no self-management ATL grades below a P. And this is for their performance during semester 2. And we also have Honor Roll with distinction, and that is for students who earn A's in all courses and have no self-management ATL grade below a P. In terms of presenting, I will read out sort of all the names for each of the different awards, and we'll ask the students to come out as a group, and then we will clap them once they're all together. So starting with Honor Roll, we have Carice Bennett, Alia Haddad, Savannah James, Samantha Millwood, Augustina Osorio, Mapenzi Pena Laria, and Naima Scott. Our Honor Roll students. Okay, thanks guys. Okay, you can head back there. You can head back. Head back. The next set of awards is for Honor Roll with distinction. So these are students who earn A's in all courses. And many of these are taking IB courses as well. And that is, we have 3 awards. And that is for Arnav Chatani, Johnny Hinkling, and Savannah Muka. On a roll with distinction. Okay, you're good, guys. Okay, you're good. The next set of awards is called the United States United States of America Presidential Awards, and these are for students who maintain a GPA of 3.5 for both semester 1 and 2. There is a silver level, which is a silver level, and then students who maintain a GPA of 3.75 for both semesters, they receive a Presidential Award for Education at the gold level. I do also have a letter from Joe Biden, which I'll just read as well, and it says, "Congratulations on receiving the 2023 President's Education Award. Jill and I are honored to join your family, friends, and teachers in recognizing this wonderful achievement. Over the past year, you worked hard, learned so much, and faced challenges head-on. You stayed curious and fearless, and you persevered. I am proud of you, and I hope you are too. I truly believe that you are part of a remarkable generation, one that is more gifted, talented, and tolerant than any before. That's why I know the future is bright. Young people like you will be leading it. So keep studying, believe in yourself, and know that there is no limit to what you can do. You can make a difference and change the world. I look forward to all that you will accomplish." Signed, Joe Biden. And the certificates themselves are signed by Joe Biden. First, we have our silver awards. They come with a nice certificate and also a little pin, and they are for Carice Bennett and Elle Bernal. Our silver awardees. Our next award is for gold. Again, that's a GPA 3.75 both semesters. We have 9 of them, which shows you what a talented class this is. So starting with, we have Mapenzi Penny Laria. We have Augustina Osorio. We have Savannah Muka. Samantha Millwood. Siyu Liao. Savannah James. Johnny Hinkling. Johnny, we need you. He just wants to be at the front of the stage. Arnav Chatani. And Zoe Brownie. Congratulations. Our next set of awards are the Core Value Awards. The Core Value Awards were chosen by the high school faculty, and as usual, it was very tough to choose individual winners. And as you will see, in some cases, we could not, so we actually awarded 2. The first award, and members of the faculty will come up to present these awards. And the first award is for empowerment. And the criteria for this is that the student serves the school and Greater Kingston community above and beyond expectations, takes to heart the needs of others, and strives to improve the surrounding community. They empower themselves and/or others to discover their true capacity and go beyond their perceived limits. And Ms. Patricia Blake Dennis will be presenting that award.
Congratulations to the class of 2023. Empowerment is embodied by this very special individual. She has demonstrated on so many occasions that her name, the first letter of her name, E, is really for empowerment. Elle Burnell.
Our next award is for excellence, and this is for a student who consistently demonstrates critical thinking skills and exceeds our standards for academic excellence by dedicating themselves to the pursuit of knowledge and going above and beyond in their academic efforts and goals. To present this award, Ms. Enriquez.
The word excellence is subjective and relative. When you witness or achieve it, it becomes palpable. It has substance and it has meaning. It moves people to action, yet it is as real as it is nebulous. Aristotle divides excellence into intellectual and moral excellence. We often think of excellence as the product of good genes, a good fortune, rather than our personal habits. We tend to think that the fates bestow their blessings indiscriminately, and the talented and successful are the lucky recipients of excellence, while the rest of us are mired in mediocrity. Those who rise to the top were born that way. While Aristotle doesn't discount this factor in attaining excellence, he's more inclined to emphasize the importance of personal habits. Moral excellence, Aristotle says, is attained by the cultivation of habits, whereas intellectual excellence is born and grown by instruction. He attributes moral excellence to our habits, those repeated practices that form on us character qualities to act in a certain way in a given situation. So this idea is putting the ball into the human court, calling on individuals to develop and build successful habits. It makes then no small difference whether we form habits of one kind or of another from our very youth. It makes a very difference, or rather all the difference, to attain excellence. The students we honor today have shown us excellence as defined by Aristotle throughout their time at AISK. We are sure that Ajani Hickling, and Arnav Chatani will continue on this road. Congratulations. There you are.
Thank you, Ms. Enriquez. Our next award is for our Leadership and Integrity Award, and this is for a student who demonstrates quality of honesty and strong moral principles through academic and social situations at AISK. We also recognize that he or she has leadership qualities and contributes to the school community in a positive manner. To present this award, Ms. Bernard.
Good morning, everyone. Human beings are social creatures, not occasionally or by accident, but always. Therefore, social interactions are at the core of our lives, and throughout its entirety, we come across many persons, some staying our lives forever, some we see from time to time, some serve a particular purpose for a specific moment in time. However, every now and again, we meet someone who leaves their mark on our soul, someone who inspires us, empowers us, guides us, influences our daily lives, and the exceptional ones do so without even realizing. I remember the first time I met this student and how many questions she would ask about the intricacies of the French language. Madame, why can something be expressed like this, but not like that? Madame, how does this word change the meaning of my sentence? She was always trying to make the connections about the deeper meaning of the French vocabulary and grammar, to the extent that when planning my lessons, I began to challenge even my understanding of the why, because I knew the questions she was going to ask, and I needed to have an answer for her when they came. There she was, pushing me, her teacher, to be a better version of myself. She was always a positive force in the classroom, a beacon of strong moral principles for her classmates, whether by leading classroom discussions or sharing a kind and thoughtful opinion for any of the controversial questions I would pose. However, the characteristic that made her stand out for this award among her peers, who were also influential in their own right, was the reach she had across this campus. In just 2 years, she managed to spread her light beyond the class of 2023 to the other students in the middle school and high school through her involvement in Key Club, dedicating her time to the high school band, after school drama club, and the many performances and concerts hosted by the arts department, to representing the school at the Model United Nations in New York, being an integral part in the graduation committee, prom committee, yearbook committee, and even to elementary, where she volunteered in Mrs. DeHuss's grade 3 class during her free periods. She could easily have won the yearbook's most photographed student for all the clubs and after-school activities she was photographed in. This awardee leads with grace, humility, and the genuine desire to influence the lives of others. And just in case you were wondering, she accomplished all of this while being a teenager, balancing the stress of pursuing the IB diploma, and remained on honor roll through it all. A good leader does great things, but a great leader empowers others to do great things. And I am beyond honored to award this year's Leadership and Integrity Award to my colleague. And I say colleague because after this morning, when she moves her tassel to the other side of her hat, she will be well on her way to shaping and molding the minds of the next generation as she pursues her career in education. Savannah James.
Thank you, Ms. Bernard. Our fourth award is the Respect Award, and this is for a student who consistently displays positive actions of esteem for other students, staff, and the AISK community. He or she values others' opinions and perspectives, models positive classroom behaviors, and consistently demonstrates kindness towards others. To present this award is Ms. Marosak.
For respect, we have two recipients. The first one, this student has always demonstrated the utmost when it comes to respect. Respect from her peers, respect from her teachers, and respect for herself. She's a quiet achiever, but always ready to assist and help others in need. A polite, courteous, and kind individual who has demonstrated this respect in her studies and her personal conduct. See you. The other student, this student I met, was the very first student that I met when I came to AISK last year. It was early morning before anybody was on campus, and she walked into my classroom visibly nervous, with tears in her eyes. I was feeling just as nervous, and with the instinct of a mother, I embraced her and gave her a big hug. I felt calm from her, and I hope I gave her calm. From that point on, I felt a connection with her. This person greets people with a sweet, soft smile when she says hello. This person has a beautiful soul. RESPECT is the award I'm honoring Sam Millward.
So I nearly photobombed that one, sorry. And our fifth award is the Renaissance Award. And this is a student who has displayed tremendous academic and personal growth at AISK by reinventing himself or herself as a student. This student embodies progress, enlightenment, creativity, and development. And to present this award, Mr. Lambert.
All right, good morning, everyone, and congrats, guys. Really proud. All right, so as a very humble student, I believe she may be surprised by this recognition. However, I'm sure if she thinks about it, she'll say that she's deserving. Throughout her senior year, her quiet humility has transformed into displays of self-confidence and enlightenment, whether that is through her thought-provoking art, her willingness to volunteer, or the way she strives to improve herself and support her peers along the way. And that's not just during class, but also in peer support club. And I'm glad I had the pleasure of working with her and watching her grow into her own person. So this year's Renaissance Award goes to Carice Bennett.
Thank you, Mr. Lambert. Once again, a big congratulations to our awards winners. And to be honest, the reality is that all our graduates have exhibited, demonstrated, and lived our core values in one way or another. Whilst we do take time now to recognize those individuals who have gone above and beyond, the true hope is that as our graduates move on from AISK, the values they have learned and shown will continue to be an integral part of whom they are now, and perhaps more importantly, how they will act in the future. It's not really part of the program. Let's give a big up for the class of 2023, for all students. Our next speaker is a senior chosen by the class to speak on their behalf. He joined AISK in grade 11, so he is a relatively latecomer to the class of 2023, many of whom joined us back in elementary and middle school, or even pre-kindergarten. But Arnav has quickly made his mark as a student with a great deal of drive and determination and excelled in many areas. So please welcome Mr. Arnav Chatani.
All right. Good morning to our head of schools, Mrs. Kanobi, principal, Mr. Walker, our guest speaker, Rain Williams, members of the administrative staff and the AISK School Board, families, parents, and of course, my fellow classmates, the graduating class of 2023. Hold on, I just have to say, these guys look somewhat decent at school for once, so proud of you guys. I'd like to start off my speech with a quote from the great Muhammad Ali, directed towards my fellow classmates. If they can make penicillin out of moldy bread, they can sure make something out of you. Let's be real. I'm wondering, you all are wondering, our parents are definitely wondering, hell, even our teachers must be wondering how we all made it to this stage today. I mean, how did our class manage to scam our way through 2 years of IB, widely renowned as one of, if not the hardest high school leaving program in the world? We, the same set of kids who would take any hard deadline from our teachers as, a proactive recommendation, and only completed assignments if one of our friends told us that they had submitted it already. But to be fair though, we were often overlooked as a class. It always seemed as though the whole world forgot that we also experienced just as much, if not even more, of the pandemic's effects on schoolings as the three classes before us. For those of us who did CSEC before coming to AISK, we were forced to experience the full load of the examinations after learning entire syllabuses online. And again, we were thrown in the deep end by IB as our exams are comparable to that of pre-COVID counterparts. After almost 2 full years of school through a screen, we were expected by everyone to just return to in-person schooling like nothing had ever happened and produce just as much as our pre-COVID, pre-pandemic students. Even so, I don't think any of us backed down from the challenge. Although unorthodox for the most part, we found our own motivations and methods to cope and excel in everything that we did. So sure, some of us may have taken a few days off of school for our mental health. Mondays seem to be really popular for some students, I don't know why. And sure, we would maybe even use physics class for a ball game sometimes. Or even trying our best to speed off through the parking lot without anyone noticing, so we didn't have to endure a full school day. But even as wild degenerates, we somehow managed to pass all our demanding classes, to meticulously submit our university applications with astounding results. And most importantly, to complete a program that the vast majority of the world could not even dream of seeing through. This is the reason why I didn't come here today to try and give you all an inspirational speech. Because, frankly, I wouldn't even be able to find the words, even if I tried, to push you all further than you have already pushed yourselves. I mean, most of us had just given up and stopped caring about IB earlier this year. We finished our IAs and other requirements, completed our mock exams and received our predicted grades, and then many of us heard back from universities, which really meant that IB results would not have a drastic impact on our futures. Yet still, and I really don't know how, we found the strength to push through till the end, after all the hardships we faced throughout high school. We did our best to the very last exams, no matter how much we could not be bothered with the results. And I think that our fighting spirit should be valued more than the numerical labels of our journeys that we will receive come July. We did not do it alone, however, and we have our amazing AISK staff to thank when we receive our diplomas today. Through our almost 2 whole years together, I feel like we really know a lot about you all. You know, like Mrs. Kropman's strong obsession with K-pop, and Mr. Walker's strong enthusiasm about Dylan's sweaters. Oh, sorry, I read that one wrong. Just Dylan. In all seriousness, I'd just like to personally apologize on behalf of the graduating class. We know we've pushed you past your breaking points and a step further. Through it all though, you all never gave up on us and provided us with every leeway possible to ensure that our families gleam with happiness as we strut across the stage today. Although I actually have to say that I am disappointed with one teacher in particular, Mr. Bennett. You were sick earlier this year and missed a couple days of school. And I just have to say, as a math teacher, sir, you should have known better and showed up with an IV. To our superhero-like parents and guardians, I mean, what can I even say to thank you for everything you've done for us? You all have been our rocks in our worst moments and our loudest supporters in our best. I'm sure that you all are extremely proud of the young adults that we have grown to become during high school. And we want you all to know that we did it all for you. Differences in opinions and arguments aside, you all have always been our role models. And for many of us, our high school goals ended with emulating the amazing people who raised us. We could not have done it without you. And you can count on us to build upon this great foundation as we become the adults you have always dreamt for us to be. Finally, to the graduating class of 2023, I am honored to be the one up here congratulating the people that have been with me through it all these past 2 years. We really did it, guys. From streaming tears to excessive laughter, from trivial beef to sharing lunch together, and from being on our own to finding a family in one another. Today, I am proud to share the stage with the future change makers of our world. And as Rain mentioned, I think that the most fitting word to describe our group today is resilient. I have no doubt that everyone behind me here today is destined for greatness in wherever you all end up after this. And yes, people say that in every graduation speech, but they don't have the stubbornness and the fight that we do to actually make a difference and not conform to societal standards. If people think that they can keep this class of 2023 in a box for the rest of our lives, I'm honestly sorry for them when they find out who we really are. As we venture through the world now, each taking different paths, I implore you all to never forget our word, resilient, because that is truly what we are. All I have left to say now is big up the man them, the graduating class of 2023. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna, and I totally agree. They are indeed an incredibly resilient bunch who've navigated the COVID years, the challenges of their junior and senior years, with a can-do attitude, and it's something they can all be very proud of. We'll now have our second musical interlude, and that will be performed by Savannah James and Stella DeHoos, and they will be singing For the Good from the musical Wicked.
So, as Stella and I were trying to decide on a fitting song for this graduation, as lovers of the musical Wicked, I think this came easy. The words very much describe what I feel towards everyone on the stage. So, thanks, y'all. I've heard it said that people come into our lives for a reason, bringing something we must learn, and we are led to those who help us most to grow if we let them. and we help them in return. Well, I don't know if I believe that's true, but I know I'm who I am today because I knew you. Like a comet pulled from orbit as it passes the sun, like a stream that meets a boulder halfway through the wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? But because I knew you, I have been changed for good.
It will maybe that we will never meet again in this lifetime. So let me say before we part, so much of me is made of what I learned from you. You'll be with me like a handprint on my heart. And now whatever way our stories end, I know you have rewritten mine by being my friend. Like a ship blown from its mooring by a wind off the sea, like a seed dropped by a skybird in a distant wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? But because I knew you,
because I knew you,
I have been changed for good. And just to clear the air, I ask forgiveness for the things I've done you blamed me for.
but then I guess we know there's blame to share,
And none of it seems to matter anymore.
like a comet pulled from orbit as it passes the
by a wind off the
like
sea,
a stream that meets a
like a
boulder
seed dropped by a
halfway
bird
through
in
the
the wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better?
I do believe I have been changed for the better. And because I knew you,
Because I knew you. Because I knew you. I have been changed
for good.
Wow, 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 amazing. And Mr. DeHoos on keyboard as well. So once again, Stella and Savannah, Mr. DeHoos. Fantastic. We will now have a moment we've all been waiting for. We'll begin the presentation of diplomas. Unfortunately, our board chairman, Mr. Peter Malhedo, is unavailable today, so we welcome Mr. Alex Gaynor from the United States Embassy, who will act as his representative, alongside our head of school, Miss Susan Kenobi. You'll just go in the front. So in the front, Alex first. Awards will be presented in the order of the program, and the names will be read out by Miss Enriquez. And we also have, you should be able to see on the screens if they're near you, we also have some other information about the students as well. As we as Miss Enriquez, yeah, you'll be here. As Miss Enriquez reads the names, please, parents, please feel free to come and take photographs, though do be mindful of the event cameras because we have people at home who are also wanting to see the special moment. So, graduates, first row, please stand.
Jean Daniel Barnett, Jamaica. Brandon Benjamin, Jamaica. Carice Bennett, Jamaica. El Bernal, Jamaica. Caleb Blewett, South Africa. The prom queen of 2023, Zoe Brownie, USA. Arnav Chatani, USA. The prom queen of 2023, Krish Chatani, Jamaica. Amy Chen, Jamaica. Addison Chin, Jamaica. Aaron Chin, Jamaica. Oh, you want? Good. Okay, I didn't know that. All right, double is better. Aaron Chin, Jamaica. Kevin Chin, Jamaica. Alia Haddad, Jamaica. Ajani Hickling, USA. Savannah James, Jamaica. Caitlin Carr, USA. Zania Patrick Knight, Bahamas. Gary Lai, Jamaica. Ryan Lee, Jamaica. Siyu Liao, Jamaica. Kai Manley Drummond, Jamaica. Samantha Millward, Canada. Savannah Muha, United States. Nicole Okonma, USA. Agostina Osorio, Chile. Mapenzi Penny Laria, Republic of Ghana. Giovanni Ricketts, Jamaica. Liam Robertson, USA. Naima Scott, USA. Dylan Vaz, Jamaica. And Milan Williams, United States.
We now have one final piece of ceremony to perform before I present the class of 23. Graduates, please have your tassel on the left-hand side of your hat. You all got that on the left hand, on your left. Your left, your other left. All right. I now invite you all to pass the tassel from the left side, hand side, to the right. And this is a sign of your transition from high school to a new phase in your life and education, and we wish you every success. Ladies and gentlemen, honorable guests, I have the pleasure to present to you the class of 2023. Okay, so you'll, so front row go there, you're going to move to the sort of front of the stage, create two lines, and we'll do the hat toss. Okay, so parents, we want to get ready. The graduates are now going to come towards the front of the stage. We're going to sort of make 2 rows, and then we're going to do a little countdown to the hat toss. So if you want to get some pictures, get ready. Graduates coming down to the front there. Watch out for flying objects. Get to a point where you're going to throw. Are we all there? Before we begin, can I quickly say on a personal note to the graduates and families, it's a pleasure to be working with you and to get to know you all, and I wish you the very best for the future. And as we said, once a hurricane, always a hurricane. Okay, just a little bit of housekeeping from Ms. Campbell. Those graduates who still require photos after the event, please go up to the media center. And there will be a reception and drinks in the plaza area. Okay, graduates, are you ready? Photographers ready? 3, 2, 1. Hey! Congratulations to our graduates. The ceremony is now over.
You go bow for the result, though. Nothing to discuss, oh. Cause I did win by default and without any doubt, oh. I'm a me happy adult, oh. I no go feed the girl, I no go feed the girl is out, oh. I'm a mind that's you the talk, oh. I put my life into my job and I know I'm in trouble. She manipulate my love, oh. I know holy and I know that get boss. Like the Baba Frayo, my ayo, don't cry, yo. I need big boy and shadow. I need big boy and shadow. I need big boy and shadow. Shadow, shadow, shadow. I need big boy and shadow. I need big boy and shadow. I need big boy and shadow. I dey Port when them kill Soboma. I dey try to buy moto, want Toyota Corolla. My feelings been they swing like Django Lover. Feelings been they swing like Django Lover. Now you crash your Ferrari for Lucky Bona. Now so much you remake could have been all over. My feelings today swing like Django Lover. Feelings today swing like Timbani at you. I'm a white dog in Fenisu. Why you say I did nothing for you when if I do anything you want me to do? Timbani at you. I'm a white dog in Fenisu. Why you say I did nothing for you when if I do anything you want me to do? Maybe another time, maybe another life. You will be my wife and we'll get it right. Young cast, last. Now everybody go job breakfast. Have to say bye-bye, yo. Bye-bye, yo. To the love of my life. My eye, yo. Don't cry, yo. I need big boy and shadow. 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 You don't cast, last. Now everybody go to breakfast. Shayo. Shayo. You go bow for the result, oh. Nothing to discuss, oh. Cause I did win by default and without any